kids deserve to know that their other parent is a lying cheater, so I tell them.
The fact that you made him fight for them proves you are the problem.
To get in the way of their relationship with their father, that's who you picked to make them with. You don't visit your bad judgment onto your children. Do we understand each other?
I understand you. I don't agree with you at all.
I don't give a...
Hello and welcome back to the Anti-Alienation Project. I'm Maddie, and here I talk about all things related to parental alienation. Last year, I learned that I had been alienated from my dad for 20 years. Since then, I've been speaking out about this form of abuse and rebuilding my relationship with my dad. My awesome stepsister sometimes watches my videos, and for Christmas she gave me this button. It says badass. It's from the You Are a Badass book. I think I'm just gonna play it sometimes for fun, like if there's a video or someone says something really spot on.
You are a badass. You can do it!
That's my favorite one. Oh, if you haven't seen this shirt, this is one of the original shirts I put in the YouTube store. You can buy it. It says How to Legally Steal a Child, Parental Alienation. This is a really cool shirt. I like it a lot. Every time I wear it out in public, I always get someone who comes up to me and asks about it. Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? How is that possible? 10 out of 10 times, at least one person comes up to me when I wear this in public. I love the green one. I think it's really cute, but enough about that, let's get down to business. So I made the reaction to TikTok videos, which I thought would be a good idea to see what's out there about parental alienation on TikTok in general. Maybe if I do a video about TikToks, more kids will come to my channel and watch. I got a lot of good feedback from you guys, so we're gonna do some reaction to TikToks again today. Let's go. So this first TikTok comes from someone who is also an alienated child. He runs the Men Need to Be Heard show, and actually he invited me to be on his podcast soon, so I said yes. So look forward to that, but let's just get into it.
All right. I'll tell you the truth, but you're not going to like it. The truth of the matter is, the fathers, they aren't abandoning their children. In fact, they're dying to be with their children.
All right, so I would just push back a tiny bit and say some fathers, they do abandon their children. I actually have a really good friend whose father just abandoned their child. It does happen, but I think that people have this idea that it happens all the time, and I think it is pretty rare that fathers will actually abandon their child.
The problem is, they're being denied access to their children. They'd like nothing better than to be able to be a part of their children's lives. But you see, Mom, well, she got bored. She thought she could do better. So she went and filed for divorce and got Dad out of the house. And after that, she saw him as nothing more than a paycheck. All she cared about was getting that child support and getting the maximum amount for it she could, which means she fought and fought hard to get as much custody time of the children as she could get. And then she runs around claiming, well, Dad didn't really want the children. She doesn't value him as a person. She doesn't value him as a father. She values him as a wallet, and nothing more than a wallet. She doesn't care about how harmful it is to her children to deny access to the father or to limit his time with them. No, it comes down to one thing and one thing only. It's all about the Benjamins for her. And then, of course, she'll run around screaming on the internet, well, he abandoned the children. He didn't fight for them. The fact that you made him fight for them proves you are the problem.
Yes, spot on. One other thing, it's like these mothers, after the divorce, they don't see the dad as being a parent anymore. They think that they are the only parent the child needs or deserves, and they almost see themselves as a single parent completely, not co-parenting at all. Where a rational person can see that even if they hurt you, they haven't hurt the children, and they still deserve to be the children's parent and to be in their lives. They don't consider that the child still deserves to have that parent in their lives. Like, they're so black and white. If the man is hurting them and they're getting divorced, oh, the child is getting divorced from the other parent too, and it just doesn't work that way. Shouldn't work that way. All right, here's a longer one, and I haven't watched it yet, but let's just check it out.
My kids deserve to know that their other parent is a lying cheater, so I tell them. Oh, okay. How do you think that's gonna impact the way they see themselves? This is about my ex being a lying cheater. It's how my kids see them, not themselves. I wish, right? I wish it could just be about your ex. When a parent speaks ill of the other parent, even if they deserve it, the child is not capable of not taking that in, because they are half you and half the other parent. So when a parent talks bad about the other one, they take it in, and it starts to injure that view of self.
You are a badass.
God, well, I'm not trying to hurt my kids. Of course you're not trying to hurt your kids, right? Like, I trust that you're trying to build them up. Emmeline, what does fear say would happen if you didn't tell your kids that their parent is a lying cheater?
Oh, wow. Good therapist. Good therapist. I think a lot of these actions from the alienator come from a place of fear, and they're afraid to lose the child. They're afraid that the child will pick the other parent over them. So I do think it's a lot of fear of losing the child, but what ends up happening is they isolate the child, control the child completely, and if the child learns the truth one day, or even if the child just gets sick of their manipulation and their control, etc., the child will probably end up estranged from them. They create the reality that they're so afraid of, and they don't even realize it. This therapist is spot on. This is a good therapist.
I don't know, I just, like, this alarm bell goes off in my head, in my chest, that says, like, don't let them get close. Your whole body is sending you this signal, this urgent signal of, like, don't let them get close. Because what would happen if your kids get close to your ex? They're gonna get hurt. It's like letting my kids get close to a freaking lion. Of course you wouldn't want to send your kid into the lion's den, right? And that's what it feels like to watch your child run up to your ex, right? It's like danger, danger. Like, this is not safe. My kid could get really hurt here in a way that I was hurt.
I gotta push back on that a little bit. Some of you guys know in my story, I'm the only child alienated. I'm the oldest of 5 children and the only girl, so I have 4 younger brothers. My brothers were always going with my dad, and they always had a healthy, loving relationship with my dad. Actually, I wasn't the first person to wonder this. Someone asked me this question a few months ago, like, okay, so if your mom was so scared for you to go with your dad, if he was so abusive and unloving and selfish, why did she send your brothers with him? And that has stuck with me. It's true. If she were so scared of my dad or the kids getting hurt, like in this TikTok example, if she was so scared, why would she freely send her other children with him? That in itself makes me think it wasn't about fear that she was going to send me there and I was going to get hurt. It wasn't about fear for my best interest. It was about fear for her best interest and her fear of losing me, or her fear of me preferring my dad, or her fear of me loving my dad more than her. So I wonder if this therapist knows that.
What it's like for you? Exactly. I don't want them to feel what I'm feeling. I can barely bear it myself, right? And as a parent, your job is to protect and nurture, right? So it's like, why would you let your child walk right into the lion's den? Of course you would want to protect them. And it's from that place when you let your child know that your ex is a lying cheater. Is that right? Yeah, I mean, hearing it said like that, I didn't even realize all of that was happening, but yeah. Emmeline, thank you for helping me understand this. I know it's not easy to talk about this and to imagine your kids getting excited to see your ex, right? Like, this is hard, and it takes a lot of strength from a parent, right, to be able to go to this place and help me understand it. So thank you. Thank you for saying that. It's hard to be strong for them. I want to be stronger, and I want to support you continue to be a strong parent. Because here's the thing, Emmeline, when you try and protect your kids by letting them know that your ex is a lying cheater, the cost is that you're risking creating a negative view of self in your kids. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. I just need to warn them to not get close to their other parent. Like, they need to know they can't go there.
The therapist is doing an amazing job. I wish more therapists were knowledgeable at the topic and that they could get the parent to see the harm they're doing in their child. I also want to say that there are a lot of different types of alienators, a lot of different levels of severity in the alienators. Some people who do alienating behaviors, you can point it out to them and how they're harming their child and they will stop. Other more severe alienators will never stop alienating, whether it's the child from the parent or the child from the other siblings or etc. They will not stop. Those alienators will not stop, even if a therapist were to point out exactly how they are damaging their children, just like this. Which is really sad, and you would like to think that people have the capacity to change and love in them more than that. But it happens.
Yeah, this is a tough one because you can't stop a child from wanting to be close to their parent.
Well, actually, I would say you can.
Right? Like, it's inherent in kids. They want your attention. They want your ex's attention. They want your guys' love, right? This is a lion den you can't stop your kid from walking into. And here's the thing though, Emmeline, if your ex doesn't change, then your kids are going to have broken promises, disappointment, pain, right? Pain that you understand, that I need you to be ready for, because when their hearts hurt, when they get injured by your ex, you of all people are going to be the one to guide them through that pain. So they're not alone in it, right? Like, if you show up and you're like, I told you not to go in the lion's den, not to play with the lion, right? Like, you're leaving them alone in that pain. When you of all people can understand it the most and help your children heal from it, I need you ready for that. This is so hard to hear. A part of me doesn't want to believe you, and the other part knows it's true. I can't stop them from feeling pain. Yeah, but you can be ready. You're a strong parent. You can get them through this. Thank you. It just sucks. It does suck, Emmeline. It sucks a lot. And you know what? You need support because we have a long road ahead of us. So what can you do to self-regulate when you see your kids get excited to see your ex, right? And your body starts sending those alarm signals like they're gonna get hurt. Send the message that my ex is a lying cheater, right? What can we do instead to help soothe your nervous system and be that stronger, wiser other for your kids? In earlier takes, I included me, the therapist, also going over her extended support system to include me, her best friend Lauren from college, and her dad.
If you'd like to see more from that therapist, there's her name on TikTok. I have to say, the last little bit there, I think could apply to some targeted parents too, that your child, when they learn the truth and they're hurt by their alienator, they're going to come to you for that support and love, and hopefully you'll be in a good place where you can give it to them. I also was thinking, just gotta be honest, I was also thinking at the end of that video that this therapist might have a little bit of false hope for the alienator to change. But like I said, each alienator is different, so maybe some of them can change. I don't know. Comments. Leave in the comments what you think about that. If you think the alienator is possible to change. Maybe you guys have experience with an alienator actually taking the messages to heart and changing. So let me know in the comments what your experience with that is. Okay, all alienating parents must watch all of this.
Whether you like him or not, whether you like her or not, whether he's a nice guy or not, whether he's a bum or not, he's a bum that you picked to make 2 children with. And if he shows up to see the children on a Wednesday and he's given you some indication that he wasn't going to be there on Wednesday, and for no other reason than he said he wasn't going to come, you don't let your children see him, that's wrong.
But
that's wrong.
Zip it, lady.
Between the two of you, he could be the biggest bum in the world. He lived with his children. His children know who he is. They have a right to see their father unless he is abusive to them, dangerous to them, which I assume that prior to 2007 you never made that allegation. Would that be a fair statement?
That would be fair.
Well, then unless he had some psychotic breakdown, which I doubt.
Well,
which I doubt. Nothing changed with regard to his love for his children from 2007 to 2009, except that you were PO'd with him.
Oh, I love Judge Judy. I love Judge Judy. Someone in the comments says about this mother, the lights are on, but there's nobody home. I love Judge Judy.
You are a badass.
She is.
That's unfair. Whether you like that or not, it's unfair. It's unfair for the children. Unfair to him, I don't care about. Unfair to you, I don't care about. But it's unfair for the children. And if you deny them the right to see their father, they will eventually hate you. I want you to understand that. I want you to be prepared for the fact that if you don't let your children visit meaningfully with their father, there will be a day down the road when they will hate you. Justifiably so. Do you get it? Do you get it? Justifiably so. Because you will have allowed your anger to get in the way of their relationship with their father. Good, bad, or middle of the road. That's who you picked to make them with. You don't visit your bad judgment onto your children. Do we understand each other?
I understand you. I don't agree with you at all.
I don't give a... Listen, since I'm not adjudicating that or not, I have to tell you this. In 40 years, I've seen tens of thousands of women just like you who will invest all of their beautiful bloom time in hating the person that they made their children with. And I guarantee you this. You know what's going to happen? Eventually, you're going to drive him away. He's got a beautiful new fiance, and he and this beautiful new fiance will go on and make a beautiful new family. And one day he's going to say, I'm tired. I want to see my kids. I would love to see my kids, and I feel badly that I'm not seeing my kids. But she really is an SOB, and she created this problem, and when they get older, they'll see me, but I'm not going to waste my time anymore. Eventually, he's going to say that.
Mr. Baxter said that.
Just a second. If he said it, it's because you made it difficult. I've seen you for a very short period of time, and I know that if he said it up until now, he said it because you've made it difficult.
Judge Judy, I mean, simply awesome. I don't think I could say anything bad about that clip. I love how she said in the future your kids are going to be mad at you. Justifiably so. I love how she kept saying that, because it is a terrible thing to steal years or decades that that child deserved to have with their other parent. You only get two parents. This I've seen before, and I want to share it because this is perhaps the most powerful TikTok I have seen on parental alienation. This is called What I Thought About Parental Alienation Was Wrong.
I used to think that the hardest thing about parental alienation was being alienated. Now, my greatest concern and my greatest sorrow is watching my children separate themselves from the alienator, and how difficult that is to watch, knowing that they deeply desire the love and affection of both parents, the acceptance of both parents. It's taken me a long time to really see a larger picture of parental alienation and how that all plays out. I've spent so much time and energy and emails and text messages and court filings fighting against parental alienation and the ways in which I was being alienated. But it wasn't even until just this last year, as my love and my efforts and my intention have been unwaveringly consistent, that I've found the real price of parental alienation. From my experience, it's not me who is being alienated. The attempt is there. The attempt to alienate and separate my children from me is there. But in the end, as time goes on, as you stay consistent and you continue to love and you continue to do for and provide for your children and your family, really the separation is actually on the other end. It's the alienator who is separating themselves from their child, and they don't even know it. And as time goes on, different things start clicking. Different things for our children where they have to reconcile what they're actually experiencing versus what they've been told. And it's not pleasant. And so I used to think that the hardest thing about parental alienation was being alienated. But now my greatest concern and my greatest sorrow is watching my children separate themselves from the alienator, and how difficult that is to watch, knowing that they deeply desire the love and affection of both parents, the acceptance of both parents, wanting and needing things from them, and watching that separation from the alienator hurt them so deeply. It's become the hardest thing for me regarding parental alienation.
I'm so glad that he has pointed this out as a targeted parent. I see a lot of angry targeted parents. I don't blame targeted parents for being angry, but I've even seen some that say, you know, my abuse is worse than my child's abuse, and what I'm going through is so difficult, it's easier to be an alienated child, and I promise you that's not true. We don't need to argue about whose abuse is worse. What he's trying to say here is the alienator does not care about the pain they are causing the child. And the child grows up and they realize that their parent caused them pain and will not stop. This is why it's so difficult, because oftentimes the decision you make to not have a relationship with the alienator is not so much of a decision you choose, but a last resort for self-preservation, because unfortunately you're stuck with this person who, yes, is your parent, but they're also hurting you and they will not stop. Someone says, I'm a product of parental alienation. This is why I stopped the cycle with my own children. Stop the cycle. You gotta stop it. Someone else says, I fear this moment more than anything. I want them to have a relationship with their dad. They will never trust themselves because of this. I wouldn't use the word never, because I like to think that, you know, if you figure it out young, maybe you can get to the point where you do trust yourself in the future. But this will take a lifetime. It's a life sentence. It's not something you're going to ever fully heal from. So I hope you guys enjoyed this TikTok video. I like going over these TikToks. I think it's a little bit more lighthearted, fun, and you can see how parental alienation is being discussed on a platform that's really geared for younger kids. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, got something insightful or helpful, and let me know in the comments what you think, what your favorite TikTok was. Hit like to get it in the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe. A lot of exciting things are coming out. January 25th is when we're launching our website, releasing our college campaign. Our first one was at the University of Utah. We have some footage to release, offering opportunities for people to donate, volunteer, or otherwise become involved with the Anti-Alienation Project. Thank you so much for being here. You're awesome. You're amazing. Keep fighting. Keep creating your most wonderful life to attract your children back. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.